Ethan Cole wiped the sweat from his forehead and squinted at the small screen in his hand. The asteroid field stretched before him, jagged rocks spinning slowly in the void, catching glints of distant starlight. His ship, a battered old freighter that had seen better days, floated quietly among the debris. He had been hired for a simple job scan for salvageable material, but something about this field felt different. There was a pull, faint but persistent, like a whisper echoing through space. "Lily," Ethan called over the comms. "I think I found something." "Found what?" came the voice of Lily Harper. Calm, but curious. She was leaning over the ship's control panel, her brown hair tucked behind her ears. She had a knack for machinery, a skill that matched Ethan's own. Together, they made a good team. "I don't know yet," Ethan admitted. "It's not on any charts. Energy readings are strange, low, but steady, almost like something is alive in there." Lily's eyes widened slightly. "Alive? You mean like a ship? Or something else?" Ethan shook his head, gripping the console. "I don't know. Let's get closer and find out." They maneuvered the freighter slowly through the field. Huge boulders loomed, some bigger than their own ship, and smaller rocks spun like dangerous satellites. The ship's thrusters hissed, small bursts of flame pushing them past obstacles. Ethan's hands were steady, but his heart raced. He had worked in dangerous places before, but this felt like more than a simple salvage operation. Finally, they reached the source of the energy signal. At first, it looked like nothing but a shadow among the rocks. Then, as the freighter came closer, the shape of a massive ship began to appear. It was enormous, dwarfing their small freighter. Rust streaked its metal surface, and asteroid scars cut across its hull. The ship had been here a long time, maybe hundreds of years. Lily let out a soft whistle. "It's huge. I've never seen anything like this." Ethan nodded, eyes tracing the ship's contours. "Yeah. And it's not just huge. Look at the design. This is old, really old. This thing might have fought battles no one remembers." They drifted closer, the freighter's lights reflecting off the battlecruiser's worn metal. The name of the ship was mostly faded, letters scraped by time and space debris. Ethan squinted, trying to make out anything recognizable. He could see the outlines of turrets and docking bays, but most of the ship's features were hidden under layers of dust and damage. "Can we board it?" Lily asked, her voice a mix of excitement and caution. Ethan looked at her, then back at the ship. "I think we have to. There's something about this place, something important. If we don't, we might never know what it is." They prepared the docking lines and slowly attached their freighter to one of the ship's massive hatches. The clamps clicked into place, and the freighter shuddered as it connected. Ethan grabbed his helmet and gave Lily a nod. "Ready?" Always," she said, a grin spreading across her face. They stepped into the airlock, the hiss of pressurized doors echoing in the quiet of space. The inside of the old battlecruiser smelled of dust and rust, and every step they took sent small clouds of particles floating in the weak artificial light. The corridors were wide, far wider than any modern ship they had worked on, and the walls were lined with panels and switches that looked almost alien in design. Ethan ran a scanner over the nearest console. The screen flickered, then sputtered to life, displaying lines of broken text and static. "This thing still has power," he muttered. "Some of it, at least." Lily crouched near a wall panel and began tapping commands. "It's old, Ethan. Really old. But it looks like there's something trying to wake up. Maybe some kind of AI?" Suddenly, a soft hum filled the corridor. The lights flickered, and the ship seemed to breathe, as if sensing their presence. Ethan and Lily exchanged a glance. Neither of them spoke. They both felt it, the quiet pulse of life in this metal giant, a ghost of the battles it had once fought. They explored further, moving through the long halls and vast chambers. Some rooms were empty, filled only with dust and debris. Others were strangely intact, with consoles still blinking faintly, showing data from centuries ago. Ethan couldn't stop thinking about the people who had once walked these halls. Who were they? What battles had they fought? Why had this ship been abandoned here, so far from anyone who might find it? In one large room, they found rows of chairs and small monitors. It looked like a command center, though faded and broken. Ethan brushed his hand across a console, and suddenly, a holographic image flickered into life. A figure appeared, pale and ghostly in the dim light. It spoke in a voice that was mechanical but clear, repeating the same words over and over in a loop. Unknown, unknown, threat, engage, defend humanity. Ethan's eyes widened. It's a message. From the ship itself. Lily frowned. From who? Or what? This could be really important. Ethan nodded slowly. It has to be. This ship, it's not just a wreck. Someone left a record here. A memory of what happened. Maybe even a warning. We need to see more. They moved deeper into the ship, corridors opening into vast rooms filled with dormant machinery. Strange devices hummed softly, seemingly asleep. Ethan carefully activated some of the panels, and the ship responded, lights brightening, engines softly thrumming beneath their feet. As they explored, Ethan felt a growing sense of awe. This wasn't just an old battlecruiser. It was a monument to human skill, ingenuity, and courage. Whoever had built this had poured their life into it, preparing it for battles they had probably never hoped anyone would remember. Lily paused in front of a sealed chamber. Its door was massive, reinforced with layers of old alloy. A small plaque beside it read, "Final Note." Ethan's pulse quickened. Final note? That sounds important. Important and dangerous. Lily said. We have no idea what's in there. Could be anything. Ethan hesitated. He felt a tug in his chest. Something told him that opening this chamber was the key to understanding the ship and everything it had fought for. We can't leave it, he said, finally. Not without knowing. This could change everything. They worked together, clearing debris and overriding old security systems. Sparks flew as Lily carefully manipulated the ancient locks. Finally, the door hissed and slowly opened, revealing a small room filled with consoles, holotapes, and a single pedestal at the center. On the pedestal rested a data cube, glowing faintly, humming with power despite the centuries it had been left untouched. Ethan reached out and lifted it gently. This is it. The ship's last message. Lily looked at him, her eyes wide with wonder. Can you read it? Ethan shook his head. I don't know yet, but I will. And whatever it says, the galaxy is going to notice. For the first time, the ship seemed fully awake. The lights brightened, engines thrummed steadily, and a soft, calm voice filled the chamber. Human presence detected. Identity confirmed. Systems reactivation in progress. Ethan felt a thrill run down his spine. They had woken something incredible. Something the galaxy had forgotten. Outside, in the asteroid field, distant sensors on other ships had begun to register the battlecruiser's sudden power. Somewhere, alien fleets far away shifted uneasily, sensing something new, something unexpected. The name of the ship was still hidden, the galaxy unaware of the secret it carried. But soon, that secret would be revealed. Ethan and Lily worked late into the artificial night, exploring, repairing, and slowly bringing the ancient ship back to life. Each console they restored, each light that blinked on, added to the sense of anticipation and awe. They were not just salvaging an old ship, they were uncovering a piece of human history, a story lost to time, a ghost of courage and brilliance that had waited for someone to remember it. Hours passed, and the freighter outside remained quiet among the asteroids. Ethan and Lily did not notice the time. They were absorbed in the ship, learning its rhythms, feeling its presence. There was something comforting in the hum of the engines, the soft glow of the panels, the pulse of a forgotten vessel that had waited centuries for discovery. Finally, Ethan sat on the edge of a control platform, holding the glowing data cube in his hands. "This is just the beginning," he said softly. "Whatever is in here, it could change everything we know about humanity." Lily nodded, leaning against a console, her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the ship's lights. "I just hope we're ready for it. The galaxy might not like what we find." Ethan smiled faintly. "Then we'll show them what humans are really capable of." And deep in the heart of the battlecruiser, the ship hummed in agreement, as if it had been waiting all this time for someone who could understand, someone who could bring it back, someone who could unlock its story. Outside, the asteroid field shimmered under the distant starlight, silent witnesses to the awakening of a legend. And inside, two humans, simple and determined, had just discovered a piece of history that would shake the galaxy to its core. Ethan Cole could feel the ship under his feet. It was alive in a way he had never experienced before. The hum of the engines, the soft pulse of lights, and the way the consoles responded to his touch made it clear that this was not just metal and wires. Something in it had waited for centuries, waiting for someone like him to arrive. "Lily," he said, his voice low, "look at this." Lily stepped closer, her eyes scanning the glowing data cube in his hands. She had connected it to one of the consoles, and lines of text and images were slowly appearing on the screen. They were fragments, broken at first, pieces of messages and diagrams that made little sense alone. "What is it?" she asked. "I think it's a record," Ethan said. "A record of battles, strategies, maybe even warnings. Whoever built this ship wanted it remembered." The lights on the ship flickered and brightened, as if agreeing with him. The AI, Orion, was coming fully online. A soft, calm voice filled the room. "Human presence confirmed. Identity recognition complete. Systems reactivation in progress. Welcome, Ethan Cole. Welcome, Lily Harper." Ethan stepped back slightly. "It knows our names?" Lily nodded, her mouth slightly open. "It must have some kind of memory banks. Maybe it kept track of humans in the past. But why now? Why us?" Orion's voice continued, steady and clear. "This vessel is a record of human resilience and ingenuity. Many believed it lost. Few understood its purpose. It has waited for those capable of unlocking its history." Ethan glanced at Lily. "I think it knew we'd come." Lily laughed softly, but there was awe in her eyes. "This is incredible. It's like we've found a ghost from the past. And it's alive." They moved through the ship, exploring rooms that were waking slowly with Orion's help. Machines hummed, lights blinked, and panels lit up as if remembering their purpose. Some rooms were full of charts, others of old weapons, schematics, and a few held personal items preserved in sealed cases. It was a museum, a history, and a warning all at once. Ethan paused in front of a large display. It showed a map of a star system he did not recognize, with lines of ships and explosions marked. These are battle plans," he said. "But they're old, really old." "Who were they fighting?" Orion's voice answered. "Unknown coalition, multiple species engaged, humans outnumbered. Objective, defend and preserve strategic positions. Outcome, unknown to current galactic records." Lily's eyes widened. "Unknown to the galaxy? You mean no one knew about this battle?" Ethan shook his head. "No records. It was hidden or erased. This ship, it might be the only proof humans fought and survived against enemies no one remembers." They worked in silence for a while, exploring more rooms, repairing panels, and watching the ship come alive under their hands. Orion guided them, showing them which systems could be restarted safely and which needed careful handling. The more they restored, the more the ship seemed to trust them, allowing deeper access to its memory. Finally, they arrived at the command center. It was massive, with consoles arranged in a semicircle and a view screen stretching across the front. Ethan sat in the captain's chair, feeling the weight of history pressing down on him. "Do you think the aliens knew about this ship?" Lily asked quietly. Ethan shook his head. "I don't know. Maybe not. That's the scary part. If they find out now, it could change everything." They began going through files stored in the ship's main database. The data cube contained hundreds of images, logs, and schematics. There were detailed reports of battles, descriptions of tactics, and diagrams of weapon systems. Most surprising were the personal logs of the crew, recording their fears, hopes, and determination during the battles. One log stood out. It was labeled "Final Note" and had been sealed by the ship's original captain, Clara Benson. Ethan opened it carefully, and the screen displayed a message in Clara's voice, recorded decades ago. "To whoever finds this," the message began. "If you are reading this, humanity has survived in ways we could not have imagined. This ship carries proof of our strength, our courage, and our ability to defend ourselves against threats no one believes we can face. We fought with ingenuity, not numbers, and we survived through strategy, courage, and unity. Use this knowledge wisely." Lily leaned closer. "She's talking to us, or to anyone who finds this. She knew someone would come." Ethan nodded slowly. "And she wanted them to understand something important. Humans are stronger than anyone believes. That's the message. I stay. Chi, I stay." Orion spoke again. "Captain Benson's final note is a record of human capability. The galaxy underestimates humanity. This vessel is proof. Preservation of these records is vital." Unquote. The words settled over them like a heavy weight. Ethan and Lily understood that they were not just exploring a ship. They were holding a key to a past that could rewrite the galaxy's understanding of humans. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed, and Orion's voice became urgent. "Unknown vessels detected. Scanning." Ethan and Lily exchanged a glance. "Aliens?" Lily asked, already moving to a console to check sensors. Ethan nodded. "Looks like someone noticed the power surge. We need to stay calm and find out who they are." Outside the ship, small shapes appeared on the scanners. They were ships, small at first but quickly multiplying. Ethan squinted at the display. "They're coming closer, and they're scanning us." Lily's fingers flew over the controls. "We don't even know what they want. Could be hostile." Orion's voice was calm but firm. "Vessels approaching at high velocity. Intent unknown. Recommend defensive measures. Weapon systems online but unarmed. Activation requires human authorization." Ethan hesitated, looking at Lily. "Do we arm them? I don't want to start a fight we can't finish, but we also can't be defenseless." Lily bit her lip. "We need to show strength, even if we don't fight. Maybe it's enough that we exist." Ethan nodded slowly. "Okay. Let's prepare for whatever comes. Orion, show me what we have in weapons and defenses." The AI lit up displays across the command room. Missile bays, energy shields, and automated turrets came online. Systems that had been silent for centuries hummed to life, responding to Ethan's commands. Outside, the approaching ships slowed slightly, as if sensing the change in energy. Sensors picked up signals. Messages sent between the alien vessels. Ethan and Lily didn't understand the language, but the tone was clear: curiosity, caution, and suspicion. Ethan took a deep breath. "Lily, whatever happens, We need to stay calm. This ship is powerful, but we're still humans, just two people against unknown enemies. We need to be smart. Lily nodded. We can do this. We have Orion, and we have each other. The hours passed slowly. Ethan and Lily worked with Orion, learning the ship's capabilities and understanding its history. They discovered old battle simulations, training programs, and tactical data that showed just how brilliant the humans who had built this ship were. Every time they activated a system, it felt like they were unlocking a secret piece of the past. Finally, after what felt like days compressed into hours, Ethan returned to the command chair, staring out at the approaching alien vessels. They had stopped at a distance, waiting, observing. The asteroid field shimmered in the faint starlight, reflecting off the surfaces of the alien ships. Orion spoke softly. These vessels are cautious. They do not yet understand the full strength of this ship or the human crew it represents. Ethan leaned back, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. They're about to find out. But not yet. Not until we're ready. Lily placed a hand on his shoulder. We're ready for the first step. Let's keep exploring, keep restoring, and learn everything we can. Clara Benson left us a guide, and now it's our turn to follow it. Ethan nodded. We'll do it. And when the galaxy sees this, they'll have to remember humans. They'll have to respect us. The battlecruiser pulsed softly beneath their feet, as if agreeing. Outside, the alien ships lingered, unaware of the history and power contained within. Ethan and Lily continued their work, unlocking systems, exploring new rooms, and slowly preparing the ship for the future. Every discovery added to the growing sense of awe and responsibility. They did not yet know what the aliens wanted, or how the galaxy would react. But for the first time in centuries, the battlecruiser had a chance to fulfill its purpose. It had waited for humans who could understand it. It had waited for humans like Ethan and Lily. And now, finally, it had them. Ethan Cole sat in the captain's chair, staring at the holoscreen in front of him. The alien ships outside had not moved closer, but their presence was pressing. Every sensor, every faint energy pulse, seemed to hum with tension. The battlecruiser beneath him was alive, responding to his touch. But he knew that the galaxy was not ready to accept the full truth of what he had discovered. Lily, he said quietly, we need to see the final note. I think it's time. Lily adjusted the controls, her fingers moving carefully over the worn buttons. Are you sure? We don't even know what's in there. It could be dangerous. Ethan shook his head. Dangerous or not, we can't leave it sealed. Clara Benson left it for someone like us, someone who could understand. We have to open it. The two of them approached the chamber again. The massive door loomed over them, silent and imposing, but it seemed almost welcoming. Ethan placed his hand on the panel, and the ship hummed, responding to his presence. He felt a connection to the battlecruiser he had never felt with any other ship. It was as if it trusted him. Orion, he said. Unlock the final note. Show us everything. A soft pulse of light ran along the edges of the door. The AI's voice filled the chamber. Authorization confirmed. Accessing final note. Warning. Information contained is highly sensitive. It may change your perception of humanity and its capabilities. Ethan swallowed. We understand. The door hissed and slowly opened, revealing the inner chamber. Lights glowed softly along the walls, and at the center stood the pedestal with the data cube. Ethan carefully lifted it. Feeling the weight of history in his hands, the holoscreen activated, and the room was filled with images of battles, star systems, and humans in combat. Lines of strategy, weapon schematics, and encrypted messages scrolled across the screen. Every detail was precise, every maneuver planned with skill that even Ethan found astonishing. This is... Incredible, Lily whispered. They thought of everything. Every attack. Every defense. It's perfect. Ethan nodded slowly, absorbing the information. And it's centuries old. This crew, they were brilliant. They fought against enemies no one even remembers. And they survived. The hologram shifted, showing personal logs from the crew. Faces appeared, frozen in time, recording messages of hope, fear, and determination. Clara Benson appeared at last, speaking directly to anyone who would listen. To those who find this, Clara said, her voice calm but full of authority. Humanity is stronger than the galaxy believes. We survived battles against overwhelming forces. Our strength is not in numbers, but in ingenuity, courage, and unity. The galaxy may have forgotten, but we have not. This ship, this record, is proof of our resilience. Ethan and Lily exchanged a glance. The message was more than a warning. It was a statement. Humans were not weak. Humans were not insignificant. And this battlecruiser was proof. Look at this, Lily said, pointing at a series of diagrams. These are tactics, strategies for defeating enemies much larger than them. They used clever tricks, timing, and precise coordination. It's like a dance of war. Ethan ran his hand over the console, feeling the pulse of the ship beneath him. And they recorded it all. They wanted the galaxy to know. Or maybe they wanted someone like us to know. Someone who could carry it forward. Over. The holoscreen changed, showing a map of the galaxy. Lines connected distant star systems, showing possible threats, and the paths humans had taken in secret missions. Ethan realized how much intelligence and planning had gone into these operations. The humans who had fought here were not just soldiers, they were thinkers, planners, survivors. Outside, the alien ships had begun to move again. Sensors picked up signals being sent between them. Ethan could not understand the language, but the tone was clear. Confusion, caution, and growing concern. They sense us, Lily said. They know something is happening. Ethan nodded. And they're not sure what. That gives us time. But we can't stay passive for long. We need to understand everything here before they make a move. Orion spoke softly. Warning. Alien vessels detected are increasing in number. They are sending probes. They may attempt communication or aggression. Recommend full access to ship's defensive systems. Ethan looked at the controls. The weapons were online, but he hesitated. He did not want to start a fight, unless necessary. Not yet, he said. We show them what we can do without firing a shot. Let them see the power of a human ship, and maybe they will think twice. Lily watched the approaching ships on the holoscreen. Do you think they'll attack? Anyway? End. Ethan shrugged. Some might. Some might be curious. We have to be ready for both. They returned to the final note, continuing to explore its contents. The more they read, the more they understood the brilliance of the humans who had fought before them. The tactics were not just about firepower, they were about anticipation, adaptation, and clever use of the environment. Ambushes, diversions, and calculated retreats had allowed humans to survive battles that should have been impossible. This is beyond anything I've ever seen, Ethan said. They weren't just fighting, they were teaching. Teaching anyone who found this how to survive, how to be clever, how to be human. Lily nodded, eyes wide. And it worked. We're here. Centuries later, learning from them. That's amazing. Orion's voice interrupted their thoughts. Alert. Unknown vessel approaching at high velocity. Sensors indicate readiness for aggression. Recommendation. Prepare evasive maneuvers and defensive systems. Ethan took a deep breath. Okay. Let's not panic. We know the ship. We know its systems. We can handle this. The alien vessel appeared on the holoscreen, sleek and fast, moving with precision. Ethan and Lily could see its energy shields, glowing, faintly. It was clearly a scout or a patrol ship, sent to investigate the sudden power spike of the battlecruiser. They're fast, Lily said, but not stronger than this ship. Not if we use it right. Not, Ethan nodded. Orion, run a simulation. Show us the best defensive options without firing a shot first. Let's see what they expect. And then, surprise them. The AI's lights pulsed as it calculated. Holographic screens displayed possible outcomes. It was clear that the battlecruiser, even half awake, was capable of outmaneuvering the scout vessel. Ethan felt a surge of pride not just in the ship, but in humanity. These humans were incredible, he said softly. They fought without being seen. They survived without anyone knowing. And now, we have the chance to show the galaxy. Lily placed her hand on his arm. Don't get too excited yet. Let's finish exploring the final note first. There's more we need to understand before we make a move. Hours passed as they read, listened, and absorbed the messages from Clara Benson and her crew. Every log, every diagram, every personal note added to the story of human ingenuity. Ethan could see the faces of the crew, young and old, brave and determined, risking everything for survival. Finally, they reached the end of the final note. A single message remained, marked as the captain's final words. Ethan pressed the console to play it. To whoever finds this, Clara said, her voice steady and calm. You are now the inheritors of our legacy. Use this knowledge wisely. The galaxy may fear us or underestimate us. But remember this. Humans are capable of greatness. Our strength lies not in numbers, not in technology alone, but in courage, in adaptability, and in unity. Protect this knowledge. Learn from it. And when the time comes, show the galaxy that humans are not to be ignored. Ethan and Lily sat in silence. The weight of the message pressed down on them, but it was not heavy in a bad way. It was a challenge, a responsibility, and a gift. They understood now that the battlecruiser was not just a ship, it was a beacon, a reminder that humans had fought and survived against odds no one remembered. Outside, the alien ships had stopped moving closer. They were cautious, curious, and uncertain. Ethan could feel the tension in the air. This discovery, this ship, and its message were about to change the balance of power in the galaxy. We have to be ready, Ethan said quietly. We can't let them underestimate us. Not now. Not ever. Lily nodded. And we have something they don't. Knowledge. Strategy. Courage. Just like Clara Benson said. The battlecruiser thrummed beneath their feet, lights glowing softly. It had waited for centuries for someone to understand it, and now it had them. Together, humans and the ship were awakening to a new reality. The final note had revealed the past, but it was also pointing toward the future. Ethan stood, looking at the alien ships through the viewing screen. They don't know what's coming. They think they've seen humans. They've seen nothing yet. Lily joined him, her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the battlecruiser's lights. Then let's make sure they see everything. And deep inside the ship, Orion pulsed with energy, ready to assist, ready to protect, ready to reveal the true power of humans. Outside, the galaxy waited, unaware that the awakening had begun. For the first time in centuries, the battlecruiser was not alone. Humans had returned to it, and together, they would rewrite the story of the galaxy. Ethan Cole stood at the command console, staring out at the alien ships hovering just outside the asteroid field. Their sleek designs and glowing engines made them look powerful, but he knew they had no idea what they were up against. The battlecruiser beneath him hummed with life, ready to defend itself and, more importantly, ready to show the galaxy what humans were capable of. Orion, Ethan said, his voice steady. Run a full systems check. Shields, engines, weapons, everything. Let's make sure we're ready. Systems check complete, Orion replied, its calm voice echoing through the command chamber. All defensive and offensive capabilities are functional. Humans are fully authorized to engage if necessary. Lily Harper leaned over his shoulder, her eyes scanning the holographic displays. They're still holding back, she said. They're waiting for us to make the first move. Ethan nodded. Good. That gives us the advantage. Let's show them who we are without firing a shot first. Let's make them think twice. 1. He activated the Battlecruiser's long-range sensors. Streams of data flooded the screens, showing the alien fleet's formations, energy levels, and probable attack patterns. Ethan studied them carefully. Every move the aliens made, every shift in their formation, was predictable when he compared it to the strategies stored in the final note. The humans who had fought centuries ago had faced similar threats and had survived. We can do this, Ethan said quietly. We know their patterns. We know how to counter them. We just have to stay smart. Lily's fingers danced over the controls, activating the Battlecruiser's defensive systems. Shields flared to life, forming a glowing barrier around the massive ship. Turrets rotated into position, and automated drones emerged, scanning the area. The ship was old, but it had been built to last, built to fight, and built to protect. The alien scouts moved closer, sending signals. Ethan ignored them for now. He wanted to wait, to see their reaction, to see how cautious they would be when they realized the Battlecruiser was awake and ready. Orion, Ethan said, broadcast a warning message. Let them know we are awake and fully operational. Make it clear that any aggression will be met with full force. A holographic projection appeared in front of them, displaying the human flag and the outline of the Battlecruiser. Ethan's voice came through the broadcast, firm and calm. This is a human vessel. We are aware of your presence. Any attack will be met with precise and decisive countermeasures. You have been warned. 1. The alien ships paused, their sensors scanning the transmission. Ethan could feel their confusion. They had expected a small, weak human ship. Not a massive battlecruiser, brimming with technology and centuries of knowledge. They didn't expect this, Lily said, a smile creeping onto her face. They think we're just humans. But they don't know what humans can do. Ethan nodded. And it's time they learned. He activated the Battlecruiser's long-range sensors again, plotting a course that would allow them to demonstrate their power without firing a single shot at first. Automated drones moved in coordinated patterns, weaving through the asteroid field and forming intricate formations. The alien ships watched, unsure what to make of it. This is beautiful, Lily whispered. It's like a dance, a display of strength. Orion spoke calmly. Analysis complete. Alien fleet is showing signs of hesitation. Probability of retreat is increasing. Human tactics are being recognized. Ethan grinned. Perfect. We don't need to fight yet. We just need to show them the truth. He activated the ship's external lights. Beams of energy shone across the asteroid field, illuminating the massive hull of the Battlecruiser. Its sheer size, combined with the visible weapon systems and drones, made it clear that this was not a ship to be underestimated. The alien ships shifted nervously, scanning for weaknesses. They're scared, Lily said, leaning forward. They didn't expect this. Ethan's hands moved over the controls. Let's give them a little more demonstration. Orion, deploy the holographic simulations from the final note. Show them the battles humans have fought in the past. Let them see what humans can survive. 100, 100 tenel. 100 tenel. 100 tenel. The projection filled the void of space, displaying battle scenes from centuries ago. Alien ships moving through asteroid fields, humans outnumbered but surviving through clever tactics. precision strikes, and coordinated maneuvers. Explosions and maneuvers played out in real-time simulations, showing the brilliance and courage of humanity. The alien ships froze. Some retreated slightly. Others communicated rapidly, signals flying back and forth in a language Ethan couldn't understand. But the message was clear. They were beginning to fear humans. "They're realizing we're not weak," Ethan said quietly. "They're realizing humans are dangerous when they're underestimated. They're realizing humans are dangerous. They're realizing humans are dangerous." Lily leaned back, her eyes wide. "This is amazing. We didn't fire a shot, and they're already reacting." Ethan nodded. "And we haven't even started. Wait until we show them everything we have." He activated the Battlecruiser's engines. The ship shifted smoothly, moving through the asteroid field with precision that even Lily found breathtaking. Automated turrets rotated and aimed, energy shields flared and shimmered, and drones continued to weave intricate patterns. The display of power was complete. Outside, the alien ships began to back away, unsure how to respond. Their confidence had faltered. Humans, who they had assumed were weak, were showing strategy, technology, and coordination that was impossible to ignore. Ethan looked at Lily. "This is the moment. They've seen the message, the ship, the tactics. Now we show them humans are not to be ignored." Lily smiled, her hand on the console. "Let's do it." He activated the Battlecruiser's advanced weapon systems, not to fire yet, but to reveal their potential. Energy beams flared across the asteroid field, moving in coordinated patterns that showed both reach and precision. The alien ships recoiled, sensors overwhelmed by the display. "They don't know what hit them, because nothing hit them," Ethan said, a small laugh escaping him. Lily nodded. "And perception is everything. They think we're stronger than we are, and that fear will work in our favor." Ethan activated the final part of the demonstration. Automated drones formed a holographic projection of Clara Benson, her voice echoing across space. "To the galaxy," she said. "Humans are stronger than you believe. Underestimate us no longer. We survive, we adapt, and we overcome. This is our legacy, and it will continue through those who carry our knowledge forward." The alien ships hesitated, scanning the projection, trying to comprehend the message. The sheer audacity and clarity of it was more than they expected. They had underestimated humans, and now they were being reminded why they should not. Ethan turned to Lily. "They're learning. They're realizing humans aren't just another species. We're something different. Clever, adaptable, and fearless." Lily nodded. "And now they know not to attack." The alien ships began to retreat slowly, their movements cautious and deliberate. Ethan could see the signals being sent back to their home systems, warning others that humans had awakened a power they did not understand. Outside the asteroid field, the galaxy began to notice. Sensors picked up the unusual display, the massive battlecruiser, showing its presence for the first time in centuries. Reports spread quickly. Humans were not weak, they were not defenseless, and they had history, strategy, and courage on their side. Ethan and Lily stood together on the command bridge, watching the alien ships retreat into the void. The battlecruiser beneath them pulsed with life, humming softly as if satisfied. They had not fought a battle in the traditional sense, but they had won. Humans had made their presence known, and the galaxy had taken notice. "Ethan," Lily said quietly, "we did it. We didn't even fire a shot, and they're leaving." Ethan smiled, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. "We showed them what humans can do. We've started a new chapter. This ship, this message, it's more than history. It's a warning and a promise." Orion's voice filled the bridge. "Mission successful. Human presence acknowledged. Alien fleet retreat confirmed. Systems at full operational capacity. Humans have proven capability beyond previous galactic estimates. Ethan looked at the glowing consoles and the soft hum of the battlecruiser. We've just begun. The galaxy will never forget humans again. Lily placed a hand on his shoulder. And it all started with discovery, courage, and understanding. That's what Clara Benson wanted. Ethan nodded. Exactly. And now, it's our turn to carry it forward. The battlecruiser shifted smoothly in space, engines glowing softly as it moved through the asteroid field. Its massive hull reflected the distant starlight, a reminder that humans had returned, awake and aware of their power. Outside, alien ships continued to retreat, spreading the news across the galaxy. Humans were no longer to be ignored. The final note, Clara Benson's message, and the battlecruiser itself had changed the perception of humanity forever. Ethan and Lily stood together, gazing at the stars. They had discovered history, unlocked knowledge, and awakened power that had waited centuries to be remembered. They had not only survived, they had proven that humans, even when underestimated, were capable of extraordinary courage, intelligence, and strength. And deep in the heart of the battlecruiser, Orion pulsed in agreement. Humans were back. The galaxy would never forget them again. Ethan took a deep breath, feeling the hum of the ship beneath him. The future starts now, he said. Lily smiled, looking out at the stars. And it's ours to shape. The battlecruiser glowed in the starlight, a monument to human ingenuity, courage, and resilience. Humans had awakened, the final note had been revealed, and the galaxy would never see them the same way again. For the first time in centuries, humanity had a voice that could not be ignored. And Ethan, Lily, and the battlecruiser were ready to make sure it was heard.